Hey guys, what's happening? Welcome to BRC Game. My name is Bornhald, and this is Dark Souls. Um, I am actually a huge fan of this game. I have played through it all the way up to the last boss before. I just picked up the Prepare to Die edition, as you can probably see, on Steam the other day for $40. Pretty cheap for a game of this size, plus an expansion. So I encourage everyone to get this on Steam. But warning, you will need a controller to play this on Steam, because the controls on keyboard are terrible, because there's nothing they could really do about the porting across the controls. But anyway, I encourage everyone to get this. It's an awesome game. Let's get right in. Alright, new game. Okay, so adjusting brightness until flame is visible and dragon invisible. Okay, I can see both of them. Let's do that. Okay. Okay, let's turn the music volume down. Sounds down. Voice down. Subtitles on. Blood on. HUD. I don't know why you would ever play this game with the HUD off. If you play this game with the HUD off, you are asking for death, because, as a lot of you probably know, this game is really hard. Like, brutally and unforgiving hard. Alright, so that's all good. Yeah, whatever, these are key settings. I'm using a controller, these don't apply to me. Sweet. Alright, so let's go male. Alright, so these are all the classes in the game. You got the warrior. Warrior, who is a medium to heavy armor, really high strength, high dexterity, as you see there. Weapons expert, all that fun stuff. You start with I think that's a long sword and a kite shield, which is pretty good shield, decent sword. And there's the knight, who's really just a tank, like really, really tough. He starts with the broadsword and the knight shield. The wanderer, he's a dexterity class. He's melee dexterity. He uses a lot of quick weapons and a lot of dodging. You start with a scimitar, a leather shield, and his armor that you see there. Thief, same deal. Really high critical hits, and the cool thing about the thief is that you see, like, right there in the description for the thief, he starts with the master key, which I'll get to that in a bit. But just remember, master key, really important item. The bandit, high strength, only about light to medium armor when you start off. And he has this cool shield called the spider shield that has high poison and fire resistance, I think. But really high strength, hits really hard. The hunter, the only class that starts out with a second weapon, which is the bow. Which is awesome, because you have no idea how unbelievably important the bow is in this game. Like, I don't care what class you're playing, even if you're playing like a sorcerer or a pyromancer, grab a bow. It's super important for a lot of stuff. Then you got sorcerer. I'm not too fond of the magic in this game, and you'll probably find out later in this playthrough when I go through all the different, like, spells and stuff, because I do like picking a high damage melee class, but also I like later in the game picking up spells, because those are still really useful. But as for starting right off with a spell class, yeah, you're going to have a rough time with that. They die really fast, especially on the first boss. Like, I've seen someone try to beat this, well, they succeeded in beating this game as a pyromancer, but they died like 20 times on the first boss, just because you are so squishy. Anyway, pyromancer, just as I was talking about. Oh, yeah, by the way, a thing I should probably mention. Sorcerer and pyromancer, definitely not the same class. They both use magic, true, but there's actually 3 different kinds of magics in this game, which all 3 of these magic classes start with different. The sorcerer starts with sorceries. Soul sorceries, that you see right there. That's stuff like soul arrow, soul spear, stuff like that, energy-based magic. They're usually always blue, stuff like that. They do a lot of piercing damage. They're really good against armor. But then there's the pyromancer, as you can see, starts with a hatchet and a really shitty broken shield. Terrible, terrible weapon and shield. He starts with pyromancies, which is the biggest thing. If you would YouTube Dark Souls speedrun, you would probably see a lot of speedruns just with the pyromancy, because his pyromancies, the pyromancies are arguably the most overpowered thing in the game. I mean, pyromancies do an assload of damage. It's ridiculous. And so, since he actually starts with the pyromancy fireball, which using that pyromancy, if you're really good at the game, you can beat the first boss, which is the, what's his name? I don't remember his name, anyway. The very first intro boss of the game in 3 hits, just by using fireball. It's insane. Anyway, so then you got Cleric. He starts with miracles, which are all usually, like, healing spells, and then there's some low damage miracle spells, but then there's also some really cool miracle spells, like the Gravelord Sword Dance, which you cast it, and a whole bunch of swords, like, stab up through the ground. That's, like, an unholy miracle, really. Miracles are interesting. I like them. And then, oh, Jesus. Yeah, the Deprived. As some of you might have noticed, on the left over there, before, like, where I chose my sex and where I'm choosing my class, that level is the soul level you start at. In this game, when you kill an enemy, you get souls, which you'll see in a bit once I start playing, and then you use those souls to buy soul levels that you would then spend the points on those stats there: vitality, attunement, endurance, strength, dexterity, resistance, intelligence, and faith. Humanity, don't worry about that for now. I'll explain that in a bit, but it's really complicated, and I'll just tell you about it later. But anyway, as you've noticed, all these classes start at different levels and with different stats. It's really interesting in this game because, of course, all these people start at different levels. And the reason they did that is that some classes will have more points in certain stats. Now, they couldn't just make it so that, say, the Knight had these stats and was still level 1. That'd be completely unfair. So, they actually increased his soul level to level out with the stats that he starts with. But, you see how they're all different? And they're all usually, the stats are all usually balanced to the different characters' attributes and what they can do. But, and yeah, the Pyromancer only class that starts at level 1. But the Deprived starts at level 6. All his stats are 11. They're all, oh, Jesus, why'd I turn him? They all start at 11. He's a completely even character. Now, this class is only for people who are really good at the game. I am nowhere near good enough at this game to actually play this character. But the reason this class is used is so that you can mold your own unique class with these completely even stats that he starts with. I've seen quite a few Let's Plays where people start with this guy, because then, throughout the course of Let's Play, they put points in specific places, and they'll build their own unique class. And they choose it this way so that certain stats aren't higher than others, and they don't have to focus on the lower ones. They can just level it out evenly. But anyway, I think, let's see, I played as the Warrior, and I played as the Wanderer, and I played as the Hunter? Yeah, I started the Hunter character. Didn't get very far with him. I got screwed over with levels and stuff. But anyway, who should I pick? Maybe the Thief? Nah, what about the Knight? What are your stats? Ooh. Look at that. That's pretty decent stats. Holy crap, look at that faith. That's insane, but his intelligence is really low. And he's atrocious dexterity, screw that. I need someone who, wow, he is like super well-rounded. Look at that. What else are my choices? Low faith, I don't like low faith. I could totally go, no, I can't. Low strength. You guys are probably all like, what the hell is he even talking about? But basically, what I'm doing right now is I'm trying to choose a class that has even enough stats that I could actually attain. I could get a weapon that is a very close end game weapon that requires pretty even stats across the board. And so what I'm trying to do is pick a class that has pretty even in strength, dexterity, intelligence, or faith, which is the 4 stats you need to wield this sword. I'm trying to find a class that has those pretty evened out, and it's looking like it might be the knight. Yeah, I'm thinking knight. Yeah, let's do it, guys. Go knight. Alright, gift. Now, here's that thing I was talking about, the master key. This is where this comes into play. So, as you can see right now, when you create a new character, you have to choose a gift. Now, all of these gifts are freaking useless, except for 2. The master key, right here. No, there's only... all of them are completely useless, except for 2. The master key and the tiny beings ring. The master key unlocks any basic lock, which means that you can actually skip a lot of areas in this game by taking the master key. And there's a tiny beings ring, sorry guys, that you have health regen. Small health regen, but still, health regen is health regen in this game. So anyway, as you guys probably remember, the thief starts with the master key, which is insane because that means that he gets 2 gifts. He gets the master key automatically for being a thief, and then he gets to choose another one. That's really awesome. But I don't want to play a thief because thieves are really hard beginning game because they don't do a lot of damage in an open fight. They really are only based on getting those backstabs and those critical hits and stuff, which are actually pretty hard to get. I'll explain those to you later, but those are kind of brutal to try to go for. But anyway, so where was it? Oh yeah, master key, tiny beings ring. Only 2 items in this list that actually have that are actually substantially useful. But that's in gameplay. This item and this item. The 2 items that say no obvious effect. These are not useful at all because they have no effect. Except in one way, and that way is storyline and plot. These items are extremely important for plot characters and plot development in the game. You don't need them if you don't really care about the plot, which the plot is really complicated and hard to understand in this game, so I'm not going to take them. But if you guys really want to get deep into the plot in this game and try to understand it, taking the pendant, which is said to be a very special item passed down through generations of a specific family, or the old witch's ring, which belonged to a boss, or an important character, actually, not the boss. I'm thinking of a different person. I'll tell you about the witch's ring later because I don't want to spoil it. Basically, what it is, it belonged to a pretty obscure plot character that I actually didn't know was an important character for a long time. But then I found out that she doesn't actually talk to you, right? So then I found out, but if you have this ring, she will actually speak to you. And she actually tells you some pretty crazy things. So if you guys really want to get in-depth with plot in this game, grab one of these 2 items. I would recommend this one because I'm not exactly sure what this one's for. But it is for something. You could probably look it up on the wiki or something. But anyway, these other 4 items, totally useless. Totally fucking useless. Like this item, nothing. This has no use. You can use it to look far away. That's it. And that has absolutely no use in this game because you have a bow. If you have a bow, you can do the same thing, just without the binoculars. They're totally useless. You find these, and you can find this. So these 4, do not pick them. They're useless. A new player, I would recommend Master Key or Tiny Beings Ring. Myself, I'm going with Master Key. Physique. Jesus Christ, what the hell? Wow, that's weird. That is really weird. Yeah, let's have an anorexic knight. That's a great idea. No. Large upper body. Hell yeah. Face. Ugh. Whoa. Oh, by the way, this character customization with the face and everything is completely freaking useless. Because half of the game, you're in a state called hollowed, which I'll explain that later when we get to it. And it basically means that your appearance is completely different than this. You look like a freaking zombie. And the other half of the game... Oh, Jesus! Anyway, the rest of the game, you always have a helmet or some sort of helmet on. So you can't even see your face or hair anyways, so... Yeah... Jesus Christ. Vampire? Christ. What the hell is that? Oh, I don't even... Hi there. You're creepy. Let's just go with the commoner. Whatever. Chiseled face. Hair. I will have receding hair. And it will stay black. I don't really care about character... Oh, I didn't give him a name. Okay. You will be Bornhald. Oh, no cap. Oh, by the way, if you're wondering why no text bubble popped up, it's because I am playing this on the computer, so I just have to use my keyboard. Alright, just like that. Okay. There we go. That was weird. Alright. I guess I do have to enter a color there. That's retarded. Alright. Let's jump in, guys. Jump into the world of Dark Souls. Actually, what time is it? Oh. Sorry, I'm a total liar. We'll jump in the next episode. Thanks for watching the video. If you guys enjoyed it, please like or favorite the video. And if you really liked it, go up to the top and click that little subscribe button. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Never stop gaming.